லேர்ன் லா வித் எம் கருணாநிதி சேனலுக்கு உங்கள் அனைவரையும் வரவேற்கிறோம். உங்களுடைய சந்தேகங்களை பதிவிடுங்கள், விளக்கம் அளிக்கப்படும். இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடித்திருந்தால் லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, மறக்காமல் எங்களுடைய சேனலை சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. எங்களின் அடுத்தடுத்த பதிவுகளை அறிய பெல் பட்டனையும் மறக்காமல் தொட்டுவிடுங்கள். தொடர்ந்து வீடியோவை முழுமையாக பாருங்கள்.
Chapter 8 CRPC speaks about security for keeping the peace and for good behavior. I most welcome to this slideshow regarding Chapter 8 CRPC. Prevention is better than cure. The principle behind Chapter 8 CRPC is prevention is better than cure. I welcome one and all. Chapter 8 CRPC Security for keeping the peace and for good behavior. Sections 106 to 124 has been arranged under Chapter 8 CRPC. Definition, procedure and execution of the order has been discussed under sections 106 to 124 CRPC under Chapter 8 CRPC. Section 106 CRPC speaks about security for keeping the peace. Section 107 speaks about security for keeping peace in other cases. Section 108 CRPC speaks about security for good behavior from other persons disseminating seditious matters. Section 109 security for good behavior from suspected persons. Section 110 security for good behavior from habitual offenders. The object behind section 106 to 110 Chapter 8 CRPC is preventive and not punitive. Ram Narayan Singh versus State of Bihar is the landmark judgment 1972 SEC criminal page 870. 1972 SEC criminal page 870. Section 106 CRPC Security for keeping peace. Security for keeping peace. Section 106 to 110 defines particular security. Among them, Section 106 CRPC speaks about security for keeping peace. Section 106 CRPC can be invoked only on conviction. When we speak about conviction, we must know conviction can be recorded by the judicial magistrate or sessions court. That is, it can be recorded only by court of law, that is judicial officers. So, among section 106 to 110, section 106 CRPC can only be invoked by the judicial magistrate when he is trying an accused, or by a court of session when hearing an appeal. When an accused is tried for the offences under Chapter 8 IPC, I request to underline Section 106 is coming under Chapter 8 CRPC. To invoke Section 106, we can easily understand when prosecution is initiated under Chapter 8 IPC except 153A, 153B and 154. Section 106 can be invoked by the learned magistrate only on conviction, assault using criminal force, mischief, criminal intimidation, any other offence which likely to cause breach of peace or abetting such offence. So, Section 106 CRPC can be invoked only on conviction. Section 106, security for keeping peace. After coming to the conclusion, that is, the prosecution has proved the charges, learned magistrate came to a conclusion that offence has been proved, and he came to a conclusion that charges have been proved. So conviction is recorded and the magistrate is going to pass a sentence. At that time, the accused can be directed to execute a bond for a period of 3 years, not exceeding 3 years, with or without sureties, If an appeal is filed challenging the conviction, if conviction is set aside on appeal, the bond becomes void. The appellate court or revisional court may also invoke the powers conferred under section 106 CRPC. The trial court, appellate court or revisional court, when an accused is tried for an offence under sections under the chapter 8 IPC, can direct on conviction that an accused has to execute a bond with or without sureties, but the total period of surety bond is not to be exceeded 3 years. The remarkable distinction or difference given in the Code of Criminal Procedure between the judicial magistrate and the executive magistrate is, insofar as power under section 106 CRPC, the learned judicial magistrate can direct an accused to execute a bond up to 3 years. In order to stress on my point, I take you all to section 167 CRPC. Learned judicial magistrate for the first time can remand for a total period of 15 days. But in case of non-availability of judicial magistrate, an accused can be produced before the learned executive magistrate, but the total period of remand is only up to 7 days. So there is a clear distinction given by the Code of Criminal Procedure. The power vested with the learned judicial magistrate can be understandable. Let us see section 107 CRPC. Security for keeping the peace in other cases. The power under section 107 CRPC can be invoked by executive magistrates on receipt of information. So, to invoke section 107, there must be an information. What type of information? Breach of peace or disturbing the public tranquility. If executive magistrates receives an information regarding breach of peace or disturbing the public tranquility, section 107 can be invoked. The executive magistrate has to come to a conclusion and he must be satisfied, and that subjective satisfaction is whether there is sufficient ground for proceeding under chapter 8 CRPC, under section 107 CRPC. Only on subjective satisfaction on the part of the learned executive magistrate, section 107 CRPC can be invoked. The person can be directed to execute a bond with or without sureties, but the maximum period is 1 year. The jurisdiction of the executive magistrate is either the place where breach of peace is apprehended or where the person resides. Section 108 CRPC. Section 108 CRPC also can be initiated. The proceedings under Section 108 CRPC can be initiated by the executive magistrate on information. The bond is for good behavior, security for good behavior from persons disseminating seditious matter, intentionally disseminates or attempt to disseminate or abetting the disseminating or seditious matters. The executive magistrate can invoke Section 108 CRPC. Under Section 108 CRPC, the person can be directed to execute a bond for good behavior with or without sureties, but the maximum period for the bond is not exceeding 1 year. No proceeding shall be taken against editor, proprietor, printer, publisher registered under present Registration of Book Act 1867. Security for good behavior. Section 109. Security for good behavior from suspected persons. When executive magistrate receives information within his jurisdiction, a person is taking precautions to conceal his presence. There is a reason to believe that he is going to commit a cognizable offence. Then security for good behavior proceedings can be initiated by the executive magistrate as against those persons. For security for good behavior, he may be directed to execute a bond with or without sureties. The maximum period of bond is only 1 year. Section 110 CRPC. Security for good behavior from habitual offenders. Executive magistrates, if receives information that within his jurisdiction a person by habit a receiver of stolen property, knowing the same to have been stolen, habitually protects or harbors thieves or aids in the concealment or disposal of stolen property, or habitually commits or attempts to commit or abets the commission of the offence of kidnapping, abduction, extortion, cheating or mischief, or any offence punishable under chapter 12 of Indian Penal Code or under section 489B, C and D, then executive magistrate can initiate a proceeding under section 110 CRPC for security for good behavior from habitual offenders. Section 110 CRPC, security for good behavior can be initiated for the offences under one or more of the following acts: the Drugs and Cosmetics Act, the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, the Employees Provident Fund Act, the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, the Essential Commodities Act, the Untouchability Offences Act, the Customs Act, the Foreigners Act. Section 110 speaks about habitual offenders. So if a person is habitually committing or attempting to commit or abets the commission of offences involving a breach of the offence. So if it involves a breach of peace, then proceedings under section 110 CRPC can be initiated. Any offence punishable under any other law providing for the prevention of hoarding or perpetrating or of adulteration of food or drugs or of corruption. Then proceedings under 110 CRPC, section 111 CRPC is a very, very important provision under chapter 8 CRPC. Except for proceedings under section 106 CRPC, that is initiated by the judicial magistrate on conviction. So in order to initiate a proceedings under section 107 to 110 CRPC, there must be a subjective satisfaction on the part of the executive magistrate before taking action under section 107 to 110 CRPC. The executive magistrate has to record subjective satisfaction. That's what section 111 CRPC speaks about. If this provision with the letter and spirit has not been followed by the executive magistrate, then the entire proceedings will be quashed on challenge made before the Honorable High Court. The executive magistrate has to record the substance of information that has been received, the amount of bond, period of bond, number of sureties, character and class of sureties have also to be stated in the order under 111 CRPC. So before taking proceedings under section 107 to 110 CRPC, the executive magistrate has to come to a conclusion whether proceedings under 107 to 110 CRPC has to be initiated or not. In order to arrive at a conclusion, he must be satisfied on the information placed before him. That satisfaction is known as subjective satisfaction. If the executive magistrate comes to a conclusion that he is satisfied on the materials placed before him and he intends to initiate the proceedings either under section 107, 108, 109 or 110, he must pass an order and in that order he must record the substance of information what has been received by him and the amount of bond, period of bond, number, character and class of sureties are also to be included in the order under 111 CRPC, because the order is preventive and not punitive. So when a preventive action is taken, there must be more cautious. So order under 111 CRPC has to be taken, has to be passed after subjective satisfaction only. Sections 112 to 124. Section 112 to 124 are the procedures to be followed when a proceedings are initiated under section 107 to 110 CRPC. When a proceedings under sections 107 to 110 CRPC is initiated, the procedures contemplated are under sections 112 to 124. 112, when a person appeared in court, what is to be done? Section 113, procedure, person not appeared in court, what is to be done? Section 114 CRPC, procedure, copy of the order shall be furnished with the summons or warrant. When an order under 111 CRPC is given, the copy of the order along with summons or warrant has to be given. 115 CRPC, under section 115 CRPC, the personal appearance of the person can be dispensed with. This provision is similar to that of the power under section 317 subclass 1 CRPC. In section 317 subclass 1 CRPC, The judicial magistrate or judge has power to dispense with the personal appearance of an accused. Like the same, executive magistrate can also dispense with the personal appearance of the person and by invoking section 115 CRPC, section 116 CRPC, inquiry as to truth of information. No doubt, everyone knows well, proceedings under 107 to 110 can be initiated only on information to the executive magistrate. Section 116 CRPC contemplates inquiry as to truth of such information. The information has been given to the executive magistrate. Cognizance has been taken. After subjective satisfaction, executive magistrate passes an order under section 111 CRPC, and thereafter there must be an inquiry regarding whether the information is true or not. So the inquiry as to truth of information contemplated under section 116 CRPC, and finally an order under section 117, order to give security, that is the final order, can be passed. If information is not correct, he may be discharged under section 118 CRPC. Discharge can be ordered. Section 119, commencement of period of bond. Section 120, contents of bond. Section 121, power has been conferred on the executive magistrate to reject sureties. The learned magistrate has been conferred with the power to reject the sureties after the bail has been granted. Sureties can be produced to the satisfaction of the learned judicial magistrate. So we have to compare the provisions. We have to read and study comparatively. So like the same, section 121 CRPC confers power on the executive magistrate to reject sureties. Section 122, imprisonment in default of sureties. Section 122, imprisonment in default of sureties. Section 123, power to release persons imprisoned for failing to give security. When a person is imprisoned for failing to give security, the executive magistrate has got power to release such a person. Section 123 CRPC speaks about when imprisoned persons for failing to give security can be released. Section 124, security for unexpired period of bond. Section 124, security for unexpired period of bond. Section 112 speaks about the procedures to be followed when a person has been appeared in the court in obeyance of summons. Order under 111 CRPC has been served, and in compliance with the order under 111 CRPC, a person appeared before the executive magistrate. So as soon as he appeared, the order shall be read over to him. It shall be read over to him as followed by the court of law, that when charges are framed, as like as framing of charges, the executive magistrate has to read and explain the order to him. If he so desires, substance thereof shall also be explained to him. This is the procedure when a person appeared in court. Section 113, procedure when person not appeared in court, the executive magistrate can also issue summons. If summons has not been served, as usual, fresh summons can be ordered. If such person is in custody, a warrant directing the officer to bring him to the court, that is, prisoner's transit warrant under section 267 CRPC, popularly known as PT warrant, can be issued directing the superintendent of prisons to produce such person in custody before the court. If there is reason, warrant can also be issued to secure his presence to be produced before the such court. That is, when a person after receipt of summons, if not appeared in the court, if there is some reasons, first summons can be ordered and warrant can also be issued to secure his presence. If such a person is in custody, that is, if such a person is in jail, a warrant under section 267 CRPC can be ordered directing the superintendent of prisons to produce such person before the executive magistrate on a particular date and time. Order under section 111 CRPC is served. A summons or warrant will be issued. Along with summons or warrant, the order made under section 111 CRPC has also to be furnished to the person against whom the order has been passed by the executive magistrate. This is the procedure contemplated under section 114 of Code of Criminal Procedure 1973. Section 115 CRPC speaks about power to dispense with the personal appearance of the person against whom the proceedings was initiated by the executive magistrate. This provision is as like as 317 subclass 1 CRPC. If sufficient reason is shown, the appearance of the person can be dispensed with and the counsel for such person can be permitted to proceed with the case. After taking cognizance and after an order under 111 CRPC, when such a person is appeared before the executive magistrate, proceedings will be started and there must be an inquiry to find out the truth. If the information is proved on trial, there must be an order directing such person to execute the bond as order under 111 CRPC. As order under section 111 CRPC, bond shall be fixed with due care and should not be excessive. If such a person is a minor, the bond shall be executed only by sureties. Minor should not be directed to execute bond. When a person as against whom an order under 111 CRPC has been passed appeared before the court, the substance of the information has to be read over to him and procedure of summons trial has to be followed. If immediate measures are necessary, interim direction to such person to execute bond with or without sureties. If necessary, interim direction to execute bond with or without sureties can be ordered for keeping peace or maintaining good behavior till the conclusion of the inquiry. The interim bond is only for the limited period, that is till the conclusion of inquiry, and he may also detain him in custody until the bond is executed, but the condition should not be onerous. The condition should not be onerous. Section 116 CRPC, the one and only proceedings, which shall automatically comes to an end after the period of limitation is over. Section 116 subclass 6 speaks, if the proceedings are not completed within a period of 6 months from the date of commencement, it shall automatically expire. 1995 Criminal Law Journal, page 607. But the time for the completion can be extended, but there must be a special reason to be recorded in writing. But for the special reasons to be recorded in writing, permitting to continue after 6 months, the permission to continue after the period of 6 months can also be vacated by the Court of Session. After taking cognizance and after an order under 111 CRPC, when such a person is appeared before the executive magistrate, proceedings will be started, and there must be an inquiry to find out the truth. If the information is proved on trial, there must be an order directing such person to execute the bond as order under 111 CRPC. As order under section 111 CRPC, bond shall be fixed with due care and should not be excessive. If such a person is a minor, the bond shall be executed only by sureties. Minor should not be directed to execute bond. Section 118 speaks about discharge. Insofar as criminal trial is concerned, the trial judge has to go through the materials forwarded under section 173 to CRPC and the documents sent therewith in order to frame the charges. The learned trial judge has to apply the judicial mind independently and has to come to a conclusion what are the charges that has to be framed. Like the same, under section 118 CRPC, if the information has not been proved, that is, this is after inquiry under section 116, if not in custody, shall record discharge. If such a person is in custody, he shall be released. This is after inquiry under section 116. Section 119, commencement of period. If such a person is undergoing sentence, the period for security shall commence on the expiration of the sentence. If such a person is undergoing some sentence, the period for security shall commence only on the expiration of that sentence. If not in custody, the period shall commence from the date of order. If such a person is not in custody, the period shall commence from the date of order. The bond must specifically speaks about to keep the peace or to be of good behavior. The bond must be specific. The executive magistrate can refuse to accept the sureties. That is, the sureties can also be rejected by the executive magistrate. The rejection must be on sufficient ground. The rejection of sureties must be on sufficient ground. after direction to execute a bond. If no bond is executed, if no security is given, then the executive magistrate can issue warrant to secure the presence of the such person. If any order to give security is passed, if one party has taken up the matter to the sessions court, it binds the other party also. The order passed by the executive magistrate can be annulled by the court of session. This appeal can be transferred to additional or assistant session judge also. Section 122 CRPC, imprisonment in default of securities. Failure to give security for keeping peace is simple imprisonment. Imprisonment under section 108 is simple imprisonment. Imprisonment under section 108 and 110 is rigorous or simple imprisonment. Section 123, power to release persons imprisoned for failing to give security. If executive magistrate pass the order, the district magistrate in any other case by the chief judicial magistrate can discharge custody of person failed to give security. High court or sessions court may reduce the bond, change the sureties also. So when the order of the executive magistrate is challenged before the high court or sessions court, the high court or the court of session may reduce the amount of bond and sureties can also be changed. The state may also discharge any condition. Section 123, power to release persons imprisoned for failing to give security. He can be remanded to custody for non-furnishing of security, but on furnishing security he shall be released. High court or court of session may cancel that final order. Surety can also apply to cancel his surety as followed in bail bond. A surety for a bail bond can also apply to discharge him from the bail bond. On such an application is moved in a bail, notice has to be given to the accused and he must be directed to execute a fresh bond from new sureties. As like as in surety for bail, here also surety can apply to cancel his surety. When such a person appeared as per section 121(3), as per section 123(10), appears or brought before the court, the bond can be cancelled and he can be directed to execute the bond for the unexpired period. No doubt, order under section 111 CRPC plays a vital role. The final order passed under section 107 to 110, that is under chapter 8 CRPC, cannot be passed as against the interim order under 111 CRPC. With regard to the class of sureties, bond and other things, the executive magistrate has to pass the order similar to that of the interim order. Now, number of cases has been filed challenging the order made under section 111 CRPC. Division Bench of Madras High Court taken up this issue, and according to the view of the Honorable Madras High Court, the order made under section 111 CRPC is only a show cause, order. So, in order to change a show cause notice or show cause order, there must be a very strong reason. Unless prima facie case is made out, the show cause order cannot be challenged under section 482 CRPC. In order to make out a case for quash of order under 111 CRPC, we have to say, we have to make out, we have to demonstrate that the entire proceedings itself is unsustainable unless otherwise, as against the interim order under 111, application under 482 CRPC for quash is not maintainable. Thank you very much for patiently listening this slide. Thank you very much.
எங்களின் இந்த பதிவு குறித்த உங்களின் மேலான கருத்துக்களை பதிவிட வேண்டுகிறோம். உங்களுடைய சந்தேகங்களையும் பதிவிடலாம். உரிய விளக்கங்கள் லேர்ன் லா வித் எம் கருணாநிதி யூடியூப் சேனல் வழியாக விளக்கம் அளிக்கப்படும். மறக்காமல் லைக் பண்ணுங்க, சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணுங்க. எங்களின் அடுத்தடுத்த பதிவுகளை அறிய பெல் பட்டனையும் மறக்காமல் அழுத்துங்கள். மீண்டும் அடுத்த பதிவில் சந்திப்போம். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.